Please rise for the procession of the Chancellor. Please remain standing for the opening prayer.
Please let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, we give you all the glory, the praise, the adoration, and the thanks for your goodness and your mercies towards us. Thank you for the gift of our lives and the gift of this day, a day you have made for us to rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for the traveling mercies that you have granted to all of us from far and near, bringing us together for this all-important program. We continue to give you praise for the life of KNUST, and we thank you for the leadership, especially our Chancellor, His Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, for the wisdom and the guidance and direction you have given us as an institution through his leadership. We thank you for the entire management as well. We bless your name for what you continue to use this great university to do. And at this point, we want to single out the role you have used KCCR to play in the promotion of good health in Ghana and beyond. We thank you for the establishment of this great institute, and we thank you for all that you have done through it. Even as we are here to commemorate its establishment and its achievement for the past 25 years, we pray that your Spirit will lead, guide, and direct us and help us to chart a new course even as we move forward as a center of research. We give you praise and thanks for hearing our prayers, because you have asked for this and many more blessings through Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen. Thank you very much. Please, let's sit.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Chancellor and Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II here presiding, I'd want to welcome all of you to the Great Hall of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We are here to celebrate one of the globally acclaimed and most impactful research centers in the world. The Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine, KCCR, is a joint venture between this university, KNUST, the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Ghana, and the Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine, Germany. It was established on 28 October 1997, following the signing of a state agreement between the Republic of Ghana and the Free and Hanseatic State of Hamburg at a ceremony in Hamburg, Germany. The President of Ghana at the time, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, and the Chancellor of KNUST, Otumfuo Opoku-Ware II, Asante provided approval for its establishment. At its 47th sitting on 30th March 1999, the Parliament of Ghana further approved its establishment and associated statutes governing its operations. The objective of the center is to conduct research in tropical medicine with Ghanaian and German scientists working in close collaboration. It was set up as an autonomous unit within KNUST as an advisory board. Oversight responsibility was provided by the 5-member advisory board, and the first chairman of the board was our former Vice Chancellor, Professor F.O. Kwame. The immense contributions of all past members who have made valuable contributions to the deliberations of the advisory board and promised activities of the center with much commitment and keen interest is hereby duly acknowledged. KNUST was quick to respond and provided a 300-meter square parcel of land at the end of a soldier road on campus for the building and sword-cutting ceremony for commencement of construction works, which was performed in May 2001. Sponsorship from the Federal Republic of Germany, the Free and Hanseatic City of Hamburg, and the Volkswagen Foundation in Germany is gratefully acknowledged. At a big event on 14th November 2003, the KCCR buildings at its present site were inaugurated. The center expanded to include a cold house in 2016, an entomology wing in 2020. The latest addition is an outbreak preparedness block that will be commissioned today. In 2019, off-site laboratories were established at Agogo Presbyterian Hospital in Ashanti region and St. Francis Xavier Catholic Hospital in Asim Fosu Central region. In early 2022, a new off-site laboratory was set up at St. Martin's Hospital, Agro Esum, also in the Ashanti region. Following the introduction of the collegiate system at the KNUST, KCCR is integrated as a research center at the College of Health Sciences. Currently, KCCR employs 34 administrative staff, has 318 research staff, hosts 13 research units comprising skin-neglected tropical diseases and Buruli ulcer, molecular diagnostics, infection immunology, One Health virology, One Health bacteriology, filariasis and onchocerciasis, infectious disease epidemiology, malaria and entomology, vector biology, bioinformatics and computational biology, infection and non-communicable diseases, clinical research and global health and infectious disease. So far, 27 PhD graduates who were supported and trained are mainly employed in our tertiary institutions, whilst 30 others are in training and are due to complete by 2025. 66 MPhil graduates in different fields have been supported and trained, while 25 others are currently in training. KCCR has 116 established collaborations with institutions in Ghana, Africa, and the global north. With this, I would want to humbly call on you to applaud KCCR at 25. And we are celebrating this under the theme, 25 years of research for life, sustaining global health and research in a changing world. At this juncture, I'll respectfully invite the current scientific director of KCCR to formally welcome us. Please welcome Professor Richard Phillips.
His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, Nana Asante and Chancellor of KNUST, Chairman and members of the University Council, Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Nsia Sari representing the Government of Ghana, Ministers of State, His Excellency Daniel Crew, German Ambassador to Ghana, Vice Chancellor KNUST, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Provosts, deans and other officials of the university, WHO representative to Ghana, Nananom, members of the diplomatic corps, members of convocation, staff and students, alumni, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor and high privilege to welcome you all to this 25th anniversary event to celebrate an important milestone in the history of KCCR. With all humility, I would like to say that what started as a modest joint venture by visionary academics and policymakers belonging to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, and Ministry of Health, and the Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine in Hamburg, Germany, has now developed into what KCCR is today. 25 years on, KCCR has evolved with several research units led by exceptional research scientists that were mainly trained in the center. Nana Chancellor, through the years, KCCR worked to provide the best equipment and facilities to ensure that scientists are now able to carry out most of the sophisticated investigations locally. Even today, a new building block of laboratories, including a larger biosafety laboratory that was born out of the COVID-19 distress, will be commissioned. Presently, KCCR is a highly sought-after institution by graduates who want to pursue an academic career. It is a preferred destination for renowned scientists from all over the world who want to engage in collaborative studies. Ladies and gentlemen, this progress is only possible because visionary leaders at KNUST agreed to provide a home for KCCR and saw the benefit of working with other institutions. This progress is only possible because the Ministry of Health in Ghana saw from afar the role that a research center sited in Kumasi would bring and provided all the high-level advocacy to bring it to fruition. The ministry sought parliamentary support that was needed to make KCCR find its feet. This progressive venture is possible because scientists from Germany sought to work with Ghanaian scientists and believed and still believe that working with us will produce the best scientific output. They had faith in an establishment far from their homes, agreed to provide support, and worked to ensure that KCCR remained internationally visible. In 2021, KCCR was shown at the World Health Summit in Berlin, Germany, as a good example of sustainable partnership. Nana Chancellor, when COVID-19 struck, many were surprised at the quality of scientists that we had in the center. This is the doing of us all. Many of us are here because we believed in the vision of KCCR and have contributed in one way or another to make this work. I thank the advisory board for guiding the center with their excellent counsel. Today, we welcome scientists from the Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine that made countless trips to Ghana, including attending board meetings twice a year. I acknowledge Professor Bernard Fleischer, Professor Rolf Hossmann, Professor Egbert Tanich, Professor Jürgen May, and now Dr. Dennis Decker. We say thank you. KNUST Vice Chancellors, Professor A.C. Sakifio, Professor J.S.K. Aim, Professor K. Andam, Professor K.K. Adakwa, Professor William Otuelis, Professor Kwesi Obri-Danso, and now Professor Mrs. Rita Akusia-Dixon. We say thank you. Former deans of the medical school, Professor Dr. Sir George Rekubrobe, Professor T.C. Ankra, Professor Chiri Abenyega, Professor Kwabena Danso, Professor Yao Edusa Akodie, and Professor Daniel Anson. We say thank you. representatives of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Joseph Bonney, Dr. Isaac Adams, Dr. Reginald Ni Odai, and now Dr. Bafo Ewa. We say thank you. To the longest serving director, Dr. Thomas Krupa, who many of you know, is here with us today. Professor Ohene Eje, who was deputy director at KCCR for 9 years. And last but not the least, Professor Ellis Owusudabo, our current Pro-Vice Chancellor, who handed over the baton to me in 2017. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, a few of our gallant soldiers fell along the way. Professor F.O. Kwame, Professor A.C. Sakifio, Professor K. Andam, Professor Enoch Frimpong, Professor Jacob Plangeru, Professor T.C. Ankra, Dr. Isaac Adams, and Mr. Mensa Agbo. I applaud you all for your efforts. I thank the over 40 institutions that provided us with support during the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of you are represented here. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to mention you all by name, but your gracious donations are thankfully acknowledged. We look forward to your continual support and partnership for the journey ahead. Nana Chancellor, I am touched by the over 60 international partners and many more local collaborators who travel to celebrate this event with us. We say Akwaba. Working together is now much more needed than ever. In the past, scientists worked hard to achieve single-authored publications. Now, this is history. I am confident that there is no way we will fail considering the trajectory we have taken. I want to thank all who worked tirelessly to make this event possible. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 days, we have planned an exciting program that we think will allow us to share memories of the past with founding scientists, partners, sponsors, and policymakers. There will be reflections on several research stories at KCCR. Our scientists will engage in interesting academic discussions tomorrow, 30th November 2022, at the same venue. Let's have a wonderful celebration. I say thank you.
We shall now welcome Mr. Kojo Aotre for a poetry performance.
I go. I'm on free. I go. I hear melodies from the oldies, harmonies that are scarce in our colonies, beats that flee through the heat of fingers and strike the strings that the singers sing. Frayoi, we bakuma, ebu. Zawakabo mua, emu. Enyanume, umayenka yehumo. Frayoi, we bakuma, ebu. Zawakabo mua, emu. Enyanum, umayenka yehumo. Ago. I'm on free. Ago. Michacho. Ray Santini, de na quietini. Tenetene means sem, ama means semtene. Ononi asem. Timede makweti asem na kamin sem. Heyesa na me yaya asem. Ti means sem nitene. En chia se bochia. Ti me chia mo. And so mean chia mo. It is you I greet. My message puts me to my feet. Oh, I've been at his feet. He shared a message so sweet. Once has he spoken, but twice I heard in repeat. I come in peace, with a peace that seeks to appease your conscience and piece the broken pieces together. And before our world rests in peace, may we find peace. Timi won samuka, Timi sre, mame kwai na minka. Nanko yemi hu yanka. Therefore, otumfo. Asante kotoko hene. Se ti udia ya bro ya ntwene. Ukuma apima apembeba. Da pima bom pim dom pim. Oswa won men pim enso enche na wapem. Frise wo de oye baako enso wo kyan apem. Sikaja kofi eya wo na wote so. Eba hini mu a wo na wote so. Obi nya bia ko baby so ye ya hwese ote so. Nana onana mempekasa memprekasa so mesre mekasa. Eya sembi na abo mi pusa ama me na mana mi bisa kasa tesa kasa. Tiadasa mesre Monya aso na montie mekasa minyanka meto mebo enyese mabo so nsam hyehye mebo ode mamentwe wa adwen ko 19 kojo ho nsem we meka nipa taate mu ka se kojo ho waka ho ne wa keka meka mensem no enye banku enso meka banku kra de me meka emu ni aba so mensem no mu wa aba enti meka ti mesre mami akwa aba penyifo si nyansa ofie ti de mechi bokoboko na yenko fie na membo wa adwen mu enko fie na mindua ma asem na ba wa adwen mu na daachi ebedi ho afo fie mensem no mu edu ti mafa potoyewa me poto michi me poto chi ti mensem na ya me ka ne poto en Frisa santase kwan so na mete se brofo edu a rich kontomire brofo kan owe enya fo se de wutu mire ti brofo edu nti se me ka brofo na me duru brofo edu a eya me twam kotri mensem no mapoto enso enye eto tijidi na entwiwo mensem no enye akutia enti entwiwo misrami kan mensem no enye soloku enti entwiwo jako niwo Nyansa di onimo Michiao Ambassadors and Chancellors, Your Excellencies, all protocols observed. My honor to you on reserve. Unity, we say, is strength. When you put a seed in the belly of the earth, new crop popped up out of their death. Oh, so death wasn't the end, but the beginning of a new birth. So when the night is darkest, that is when the stars shine brightest. So challenges was an enough inspiration that created in us aspiration. So no matter the matter, we can go through the matter. So on the shores, when crisis arises, that is when true hero rises. So on the shores of life, there we saw the footsteps of giants that made a mark. But just remember that the marker was made to make a mark. But the marker can't make a mark unless it has a holder. So could I, should I be on top? If only I was standing on your shoulder. So Isaac Newton said, I can only see further because I stood on the shoulders of giants. Timame mo onkaye say duakro entumi nye kwaye. Kumeni suma minti na otwenam enye twema mentwe. A tree doesn't make a forest. Dua prayo wi ba ko a ebu. Say ekabo mo a emu. So let's stick together. Because when sticks are together in a bundle, it's unbreakable. We become darkness candle that doom can't handle. We become a force that no force can force into defeat. And no matter the challenges, we won't fall. We'll stand to our feet. Because when love exists, our world becomes a better place. But when love exists, our world becomes a better place. Tiodoye, tia mama yenya doye. Unity makes victory abounds. This unity makes victory out of bounds. Races are not in a race. So as my mind spins around, round like a merry-go-round, there's one truth I found. That the white and black keys on the keyboard, when played together, makes a beautiful sound. When one is played without the other, that beautiful sound is never found. So why don't we understand? Hold our hands. That's divided we fall. Together, we stand. Thank you. Edamas.
A bigger round of applause for Kojo Awoche. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. To our German partners, brothers and sisters, he performed in both English and Twi. So for the Twi portion that you may not have understood, he called for us to maintain the collaboration and make it stronger. But I'm sure when we got there and you didn't understand, you still appreciated the artistic part of his performance, right? A round of applause once again. So we have a keynote speaker to speak on sustaining global health and research in a changing world. Our speaker is the World Health Organization representative for Ghana. He's an infectious disease physician and public health expert with specialization in clinical virology. He has worked with WHO in various capacities for the past 19 years. Prior to his appointment, he was the Chief of Staff of the WHO Regional Director for Africa, responsible for advising the Regional Director on policy and strategies issues pertaining the work of WHO. He has over 30 years of experience in public health and program management at both national and international levels, having worked in areas such as immunization, HIV/AIDS, emergencies and outbreaks, and clinical virology. He holds the following qualifications: MB/CHB Medicine and Surgery from the University of Zambia, Master's Degree Public Health, and PhD in Clinical Virology from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. He also holds a diploma in tropical medicine from the Royal College of Physicians, England. So he is also a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, and a fellow College of Physicians for East, Central, and Southern Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker is none other than the WHO rep for Ghana, Dr. Francis Chisaka Kasolo.
Thank you very much, Masters of Ceremony. Your Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Presidential Advisor on Health and representing the Government of Ghana, Dr. Anthony Nsiansari, the management of the Kwame Nkrumah University for Science and Technology, Director of KCCR, Professor Phillips, the German Ambassador to Ghana, and representatives from the various German institutions present, representatives from development partners based in Ghana, academicians, scientists, students present, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin by congratulating the management and staff of the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine on their 25th anniversary, and for the excellent work that you continue to do in public health and research. On behalf of the leadership of the World Health Organization, I'd like to say, continue the good work. Your work during the COVID-19 pandemic helped Ghana significantly reduce the health impact of this disease. I am humbled for the invitation extended to me to share some thoughts on your theme, and specifically to comment on how we can sustain global health and research in the changing world. Your Royal Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, I have chosen to approach this topic by attempting to answer the following questions. Why is global health crucial? What is changing in this world? What does this mean, or this change mean, for global health and research? What is the importance of research in this changing world? And finally, how can we sustain global health and research in this changing world? Your Royal Majesty, why is global health crucial? Firstly, global health is important because it emphasizes a broad, multidisciplinary approach to understanding emerging health challenges. It takes into consideration social, cultural, economic, climate, and environmental factors, and also addresses underlying health inequities. Secondly, it is crucial because the actions needed to attain good health and well-being for all at all ages cannot be contained in one country or region. As we all know, many threats to global health and well-being do not respect borders, let alone gender, race, religion, or culture. Thirdly, a global health perspective helps in ensuring everyone can attain the health and well-being they aspire for by ensuring access for health and well-being, and also that cross-border threats to health and well-being, including public health emergencies, are addressed collectively. Your Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, moving on to what is changing in the world in the context of health. Firstly, the way we look and understand health is changing. For example, we've seen the changes in our economy that has led to, in some cases, improved outcomes and incomes of our population. However, this also has brought about a widening disparities, thus affecting health. Environmental and climate factors are also with us, and as such are increasing the impact on health through pollution, drought, flooding, and indeed other environmental and factors. The world is also changing through social changes. Our communities are becoming more informed and demanding more for the services, health services. We're also seeing increased connectivity, which, if harnessed, can help address some of the health challenges that we have. We're also seeing changes in lifestyles, which are bringing in new diseases, such as non-communicable diseases, as well as mental health challenges. Our population demographics are also changing. People are living longer, leading to age-related health issues. The private sector has stepped up and has gotten involved in addressing global health and research. We need to harness this new opportunity. We also have seen improved technology for health and research, where it used to take months to get results or understand what was wrong with a particular patient. It's now taking minutes. Finally, we also have seen the impact of political instability resulting in large population movements and special health needs for the displaced population. It's not all doom and gloom. It is worth noting that because of the various investments that have been made, including in places like the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research, countries are better placed to handle these new changes, especially in the context of health and research. Your Majesty, what does the changing world mean for global health? Firstly, we need to rethink on how we look at health in general. We need to look at health holistically. Three interconnected results are important to attaining health and well-being of our populations. These include subscribing to the attainment of universal health coverage by all nations, addressing issues around health security, and of course, understanding the determinants of health and how these can be addressed and reduce health challenges. Countries must aim to progress across these three result areas concurrently, including research in these areas. Secondly, we need to rethink how we plan our responses to health threats. No single entity can make the world better protected. We need a whole of government and whole of society approach in addressing these health threats. Thirdly, we need to rethink how we look at health systems in general. Health systems is an interconnected group of intervention areas, the so-called building blocks, working within a unique context to attain a level of functionality needed to deliver results. Every health system, irrespective of how it is structured, should aim towards being functional. That is, have the capacity to ensure access, ensure quality essential services that are demanded by the beneficiaries in a manner that is resilient to shocks. Resilience is an integral element of a functional health system. If it is not resilient, it cannot be viewed as a functional health system. Lastly, we need to respond to new expectations of the health system. We need to ensure more services are available, especially for the new and emerging diseases, including non-communicable diseases. The many actors that are present in global health and research within the changing world need to have a coordination platform that will, for example, also bring in the private sector. Beneficiaries expect more of the health system, and we need to meet this expectation. Resources need to be better managed and provide value for money, and we need to leverage emerging technologies and digital solutions to accelerate impact. Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, I now turn to the question of the importance of research in the changing health landscape. Global health research cannot only generate knowledge. More importantly, it should lead to action. Research outcomes must guide policy and program development, as well as delivery of health services. Healthcare interventions should be evidence-based and grounded in solid research, and that's why the contribution of the KCCR is acknowledged globally. In changing global health landscape, in changing the global health landscape, research should build our credibility individually and as an institution. It should introduce new ideas, and these new ideas are there for all of us to see through the KCCA. Research helps you to reach people, raise awareness of issues like climate change, gender inequity, emerging diseases such as non-communicable diseases, and neglected tropical diseases. And finally, in a changing global health landscape, research helps you know what you are up against. And the typical example is what we saw with COVID-19 pandemic and earlier with the HIV outbreak. How then do we sustain global health and research in a changing world? Several actions need to be put in place. We need, first of all, to begin by changing our mindset. Manage this change, ensuring that actors participate in this change. We need to be dynamic in all the global health and research work. Institutions need to venture into multiple research areas relevant to what impacts on the lives of the citizens. Private sector involvement is important to drive global health and research and must be brought on board. We need to also begin incorporating other aspects of research, such as implementation research, which will help monitor performance of some of the interventions that we're introducing. Areas for country-specific implementation research may include and not limited to the following: identifying most appropriate health system interventions to build sustainable resilience, identifying and addressing gaps within the health ecosystem impeding sustainable scaling up of innovative interventions, monitoring and the functionality of our health system to ensure they can deliver needed results as to the expectation of our population, maximizing the role of private sector in health. We need to retain local human resource capacities for global health and research, as well as encourage the young to take up global health and research careers. We also need to strengthen collaboration of research institutions and universities within and outside countries with other health authorities and also health partners, as well as improve funding for global health and research. We need to anticipate and address possible shocks that may impact global health and research in a timely manner. We saw what COVID-19 did. Essential services collapsed. And I'm sure some of the research work that the KCCR were supposed to do over the last years slowed down. In addition, but most importantly, we need to build resilient systems for health and research that will ensure delivery of essential services and research even in the presence of shock events. I would like to conclude by stating that epidemics and pandemics have had devastating health, social, and economic impacts. Interplay between global health and research has helped bring these pandemics and epidemics under control, and thus mitigating their impacts. With the changing world, we cannot predict which pathogen will cause the next pandemic, or where it will originate, or how the effects will be. We therefore need to fully be prepared to mitigate the effects of the next pandemic. Expand the scope of research to include implementation research so that we can better monitor the implementation of some of the innovations that we are doing. We need to have greater involvement of the private sector in global health and research, and increase domestic investment in health and research. And finally, we need to build a resilient and integrated system that will ensure that global health and research continue to function regardless of any future shocks. The Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine has shown this resilience and should be commended and supported to continue their important work. Your Royal Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ejako Nimo and his Adadem and Agofuma band. As you may have heard earlier, KCCR was birthed from the joint collaboration of some key stakeholders: Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the German government, the Ghana government through the Ministry of Health, and then BNITM also in Germany. So it's just fair that we sit and listen to complimentary messages from these key stakeholders. To deliver the speech on behalf of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, please welcome our Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Akosua-Dixon.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Chancellor of our great university. And now, with your kind permission, I'd like to stand on the existing protocols that have been established so that I save a bit of time, if you permit me, and say good morning and a warm welcome and a kwaba to everyone. Indeed, I am deeply excited and feel honored for the opportunity to be witnessing the 25th anniversary of the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research into Tropical Medicine, KCCR. In the same year that we, as a university, are celebrating our 70th anniversary. Undoubtedly, we have come far in consolidating our pride of place as a premier science and technology university in Ghana, consistently contributing our quota to the healthcare delivery machinery of our dear country. As a research-intensive institution, the KNUST remains very keen and committed to ensuring that we continue to own societal problems and go through research to profess solutions to them. This is one of the reasons why we hold our research centers, such as KCCR, in high esteem. As a university, we are indeed extremely proud of the good work KCCR is doing, and would like to congratulate the Center on a Silver Jubilee celebration. Aiko KCCR, Aiko. I think you don't need to be economical with the clap. You can clap further. Thank you. Thank you. Most certainly, it is in order that we say a big happy cheers to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and KCCR for this double celebration. We warmly welcome all our collaborators, sponsors, and dear partners across the globe who have traveled from far and near to be here with us on this occasion. And also our friends who are joining us via the virtual space. Your sterling contributions and commitment to our common agenda in these past 25 years are greatly, greatly appreciated. Let me first of all extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Chancellor of our noble, august, and great university, His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, who continuously provides wise counsel, invaluable spiritual and material support every step of the way for this great university and for KCCR. Nana, thank you very much. We are very grateful. I wish to pay glowing tribute to all the past vice chancellors of KNUST, and I thank you, Director. He's done a good job with that. He's recognized the past deans, all the past directors. We are very grateful. All our collaborators. It is because of the work that we have done together. That is why for 25 years, we can say that we have achieved all this for humanity. We want to say we salute all of you. We are also grateful to the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the entire leadership of this country to date, as well as the Ministry of Health and her leadership for the immense support to us in carrying out our mandate. We are also grateful to His Excellency Daniel Krugh and our German partners for being committed to our beautiful and enduring joint collaboration that is already 25 years. A lot has already been said on training and on research and all that the center does. So I'll skip all that and say that, Chancellor, the significant contributions of KCCR during the COVID-19 pandemic cannot be overemphasized. The COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on KCCR's activities, and KNUST scientists working at KCCR rose to the occasion, making profound contributions towards the COVID-19 control strategy in the country. As a key partner of the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health, KCCR scientists established COVID-19 testing centers to support national efforts. The center gained so much recognition as the second largest laboratory providing COVID-19 tests for 13 out of 16 regions in the country. Scientists at KCCR, including Dr. Mrs. Augustina Silvakin, Dr. Michael Owusu, Dr. John Amuasi, Professor Richard Phillips, and many more, the list is long, please, have been at the forefront in advocacy, testing, training, setting up of other testing sites across the country and the continent of Africa, finding the right words to register our appreciation for the calm confidence and courage displayed by our scientists, all our staff, as well as the healthcare team of this country is obviously a huge challenge. We salute you all. Thank you so, so very much for all the efforts that were put into this. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on the past 25 years with a sense of pride and also responsibility, we look into the future with hope, enthusiasm, and zest. For so long as the health challenges of our country, and for that matter the globe, have not ceased, we will and must forge ahead and own these challenges and prefer solutions to them through research. I charge all of us to maintain and strengthen these collaborations and create more opportunities for growth. We should strive to make greater strides and maintain a positive outlook for the future in our collective efforts to find solutions to the myriad health problems of society. Indeed, indeed, together we can. Let us simply keep going. Long live KCCR. Long live the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Long live Asante Mine. Long live our dear country, Ghana. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to all of us. Thank you very much.
Madam says we don't have to be economical with claps, so let it be louder. It's another way of saying clap pedidi, so clap loudly. Next to deliver a complimentary message is the chair of Bernhard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine in Germany. Please welcome Professor Dr. Jürgen May.
Thank you very much. His Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Nana Asante-Hene, and Chancellor of the KNUST-TEK. I also would like to stand on the existing protocol. I would like to convey greetings from the entire board of the Bernhard Nocht Institute, the BNITM, for the successful work and development of the KCCR over the last 25 years. And we wish you all the best for the next decades in a world with foreseeable challenges. In the early 1990s, when looking for a partner in sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana seemed to be the perfect place with a stable government and great interest in such a joint activity. And we were fortunate to find Sir George Brobby, the former dean of the medical faculty of KNUST-TEK, who drove the state agreement together with the BNITM officials. From the beginning on, there was a strong collaboration between BNITM, the KNUST-TEK, the Ministry of Health, and growing numbers of hospitals in the Ashanti region and beyond, and with strong international research groups. The mothers and fathers of KCCR, and some are here today, have made the right decisions. First, the stakeholders represent academia, national authorities, public health in the regions, and an international partner, and they all have rights and responsibilities, and together contribute to the success of this institution. Second, the KCCR was always an open research platform, and third, there's a written commitment in the state agreement that all research projects need co-PIs from Ghana and abroad, but one of them must be from KNUST or BNITM. And these factors were the basis of an equal partnership of the next generation. Science and research are the motivation of KCCR. Indeed, thousands of blood cultures and malaria slides, umpteen thousands of COVID samples, and 100,000s of clinical data were collected over the last 25 years that have allowed diagnostics for better patient management in the hospitals, and at the same time have provided useful information on pathogens and on drug resistances, and have, by the way, built capacities for lab work, evidence-based medicine, and research at many places in Ghana. KCCR has impressively demonstrated its capacities and capabilities during the COVID-19 crisis. Far more than 150,000 PCRs have been managed with no or only a few support from the partners. And this is exactly what is needed in low and middle income countries, strong light tower institutions that attract collaborations and that have radiant power. The engagement up to now should not stop here. The knowledge should be translated into clinical practice, in guidelines, in better health care, and many great challenges lie ahead of us: increasing resistances, growing mobility, urbanization, new global health threats, emerging infections. These problems can only be solved together. KCCR should be further in a leading position of this process and is already one of the most influential research institutions in sub-Saharan Africa. Indeed, the approach and the governance are a blueprint for similar collaborations of this kind, and the BNITM is proud to be part of this success story. KCCR has shown what is possible with reliable infrastructures, strong partnerships, clear governance, and individual engagement, and I hope that KCCR will continue to be an important piece in a network of research activities for the people of Ghana, for the people in Africa. Thank you.
The German government is a very major stakeholder in KCCR. To deliver the complimentary speech from the government is an ambassador, German ambassador to the Republic of Ghana. Please welcome His Excellency Daniel Crow.
His Royal Majesty, Utumfu Osei Tutu II, Nana Asantehene, and Chancellor of KNUST-TEK, Chairman and members of the University Council, Presidential Advisor of Health, Dr. Nasir Assare, Ministers of States present, Vice Chancellor of KNUST-TEK, thanks for your energizing speech, and the wonderful tie from KNUST-TEK, the best-rated university of the continent. You gave me this tie, and you complained once that I didn't wear it. Today I wear it, and I wear it with great pride. Pro-Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Provost Deans, WHO Country Representative Dr. Francis Casolo, Nananom, members of convocations, scientists, researchers from Ghana and beyond, and please allow me as German ambassador a special acknowledgement to the presence of the scientists who came all the way from Germany to take part in this program. A special welcome to those from my hometown Germany, to my hometown Hamburg, and in particular President of the Bernhard Nocht Institute, Professor May. Students and alumni staff of the KNUST, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here again in Kumasi. You know, at my embassy, the people in the visa section are already complaining that I are more often in Kumasi at KNUST than in the visa section. So, but I hope even they will understand that it is an enormous privilege to be here today with you in this important event that marks an amazing milestone in the relations between our two countries and the scientists from our two countries, and an important milestone in international research for global health. 25 is a natural number. Between 24 and 26, a square number. 25 sums up, did you know that? 25 sums up all uneven single-digit numbers. Check it, it works. And 25, of course, is an indicator for a long history of a relationship. In the name of the German government and the German scientific community, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have made the KCCR success story happen, including the initiators of this project today present here in the room. Most importantly, of course, I would like to thank His Royal Highness for strong support of science and education in general, and for the KCCR in particular. I take your presence here today, despite a very busy schedule, as a very, very strong message that we can trust on your continued interest and support for KCCR. Now, any long-time relationship, any marriage, they all have good times and better times. From time to time, they need new input, new impulse, new incentives. New incentives are needed to revive energy on all sides. In a way, you might say that Corona epidemic was such a wake-up call. Maybe not for the scientists in the labs in KCCR and around the world, but for many outside of these laboratories. When I had the privilege to meet His Royal Highness for the first time, he shared with me his observation that it was only when COVID hit Ghana that people started to realize what kind of crown jewelry KCCR really is. Even in Germany, people started to ask, what are all these leading-edge German scientists doing there in Ghana? And why are they there since over 30 years? So 25 stands for a long-lasting relationship, for continued engagement on all sides. And I would like to take the opportunity today to assure you that Germany is committed to continue our support for this leading-edge research institute. We just last year have added another jewelry to KNUST-TEK collection with the support of the opening of the GVAC Research in Public Health and Pandemic Research. The first workshop will start tomorrow and will focus on the relevance of data collection and processing in the fight against pandemics. German industry is complementing the engagement of German scientists also here at KNUST. German industry has in general a long-term vision of market development like our scientists. Most of Germans do not come for the quick buck, but rather come to stay to invest in the development of the market in general. German companies come in order to stay. Now, we would like to add another element. We are in good talks with the university. We are working hard to get the financing together to improve German teaching at KNUST. And please allow me to take advantage of today's presence of so many German scientists that I would like to encourage them to support the German embassy in this endeavor when they are going back home. I need applause from the crowd. Because I strongly believe that language is not all, but language is very helpful when linking scientists around the world. Now, pandemics, viruses will not go away. The work of KCCR will remain of eminent relevance for Ghana and beyond. The challenges of global health for a more and more globalized international community will make the work of KCCR even more relevant than ever before. I wish you all fruitful deliberations in the following scientific symposiums, and good luck to KCCR for the next 25 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The last person to deliver his complimentary message was here when KCCR was born 25 years ago. He is a foundation board member of KCCR. At the Silver Jubilee celebration today, he is here with us. Please welcome former BNITM Director, Professor Bernard Fleischer.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Nana Asante Hene, and Chancellor of the University, I've observed all protocols, and I greet you as distinguished audience for this event, for this wonderful event. As you see from my tie, which is a very old version of the KNUST tie, I'm an elder statesman, and I think I can look a bit back on the beginning. With my congratulations to the birthday, the 25th birthday, and it's the fantastic development of the KCCR. I was present when at the moment of birth, when the state agreement was signed, when the President of the Republic of Ghana was in the town hall in Hamburg, and when the document was signed, and this was the moment of birth of the KCCR. It's interesting that the document was not signed by the Ministry of Research or Health, but was signed by the Minister of Finances of the Republic of Ghana and the Minister of Commerce of Hamburg. Well, you could think that they expected some income from this, but I think but I think it was a commitment to provide funds, and this is what they did in the last quarter of the century. Yeah. So it's a good opportunity to thank the governments for their support for now a quarter of the century of this center. Actually, the preceding was a long period of pregnancy because to find the right place to go. And I think my colleague and successor, Rolf Horstmann, will give details in the afternoon how this all developed and how we came to this place and just came to Kumasi. My first visit to Kumasi was 6 weeks later when the inauguration of the center took place. And to my surprise, the faculty spoke German here, and because most of the professors of medicine had studied medicine in Germany and had been trained there in the university hospitals. The dean at that place of the SMS was George Brobby, Professor George Brobby. He had been trained as an ENT at the University of Marburg. And the late Professor Kwame, who was Vice Chancellor of the university before, and then the very dedicated chairman of our center, he had studied engineering in Berlin, and he even was a professor in Berlin, and then decided to go back to Ghana to build something up. And this was the feeling we had here, the pioneering spirit of the faculty and of the whole university, that something new should be built up and to support us. It was not so easy in these days, but it was a very humorous atmosphere. We had, for instance, power cuts and sat in the dark, and then had some meetings with candlelights, because, but this was not a problem at that time, and the humorous spirit was, and the pioneering spirit was there. So the contract now runs, the contract was originally made for 20 years, but it's now prolonged, and so I hope it will be prolonged then for the next 25 years again. The most important word of the contract is the word collaborative. I think it's the most important word, and we heard that harmony is brought about by black and white keys to give good music. That's what we heard just right here. So I wish the center all the best for the next 25 years, and I'm looking forward to the next anniversary, and I hope I will be invited then again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ejako Nimo. 25 years ago, when the agreement was signed, as you heard Professor Fleischer say, it was signed by the president then on behalf of the Republic. 25 years on, our president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, would have loved to have been here. Unfortunately, due to some equally important assignments, he could not. However, he sent his advisor on health to deliver his message. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud Dr. Anthony Insia Asari to deliver the President's message on the 25th anniversary of KCCR.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, Asante Hene, and the Chancellor of KNUST, Anna Chairman and members of the University Council, the Vice Chancellor of KNUST and sister universities here present, the Regional Minister, my own brother, Honorable Simon Osei-Mensah, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Provost, Deans, and other officials of the university, Nananum, His Excellency Daniel Crew, the German Ambassador, and the representatives from Bernard Noch Institute of Tropical Medicine, the WHO Country Representative, Dr. Francis Casaulo, members of Convocation, staff and students, alumni, and members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As the MC said, His Excellency the President would have loved to be here this morning with you. But unfortunately, you all know he's outside the country. But he said I should say a yuko to all of you. Today marks exactly 25 years since the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine, KCCR, was established. And it is fitting for all of us to gather to commemorate this special day. On behalf of the people of Ghana, and on my own behalf, I wish to extend a warm welcome to our special guest of honor, my friend and brother, Dr. Francis Casaulo, the World Health Organization representative in Ghana. We also welcome His Excellency Daniel Crew, Ambassador of the Republic of Germany to Ghana, and other members of the diplomatic corps here present, and dignitaries that have traveled all the way from Germany and other parts of the world to join us on this occasion. We are delighted that you accepted our invitation to share in this special day of us. Many important things define us as Ghanaians. By our proverbial hospitality, we make strangers and visitors feel at home. It is part of our DNA. In this respect, His Royal Majesty, we say Akwaba to those of you visiting Ghana for the first time. Your Royal Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to congratulate all those who saw the light at the end of the tunnel and contributed to ensuring that KCCR is what it is today. This was made possible through collaboration between Ghana and Germany 25 years ago. KCCR was positioned on the campus of our premier Science and Technology Institute, KNUST. Through the partnership between scientists in Ghana and Germany, many scientists have been trained in Ghana and have found employment in our tertiary institutions. We congratulate the universities and the institutions that provide access to our scientists, such as Bernard Noch Institute of Tropical Medicine, University of Bonn, University of Düsseldorf, Charité University in Germany, and the University of Surrey in UK, to mention but a few. In the words of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, those who judge us merely by the heights we have achieved would do well to remember the depths from which we started, unquote. My gratitude also goes to those who have traveled the journey with us. His Royal Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, back in March 2020, when the first cases of COVID-19, exactly on the 12th of March, hit our country, we and the rest of the world were in uncharted territory. Fear and sheer terror gripped our land. Probably, to future generations, it will look quite obvious what should have been done. But 2 years ago, we felt so inadequate. We could not have been prepared for the catastrophe that hit us. Even the richest economies in the world and the most sophisticated, with all the most sophisticated structures, were also unprepared. Our management of COVID-19 outbreak has been exemplary and has been so much acclaimed by the whole world. With the great mercies of the Almighty, we have saved lives, and indeed, the total number of deaths sadly recorded 1,461, which represents a minuscule fraction of the total global deaths. In fact, we are among the lowest fatality in COVID-19 with our few risks that we have. Right at the onset, KCCR scientists worked together with their brothers in Noguchi Memorial Institute to ensure that COVID-19 PCR testing was available to health facilities and provided technical support for expanding testing capacity to private and public health institutions. And I'm happy to say now we have over 50 such facilities across the country, both public and private. His Royal Majesty, this is a remarkable achievement and should be applauded. We need to remember this, that what was difficult at the time when we had to put extreme measures in place, such as closing our borders to contain the virus. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a nation, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed our shortcomings. It taught us many lessons and provided us with many opportunities as well. We see the critical need to deal with infrastructure deficits. On the 25th anniversary, we will commission the KCCR new outbreak preparedness block born out of COVID-19 distress and in anticipation of future public outbreaks. The new facility, as I hear, has a larger biosafety level 3 laboratory for processing dangerous organisms such as those causing COVID-19. The building is resourced with biosafety level 2 laboratories to ensure that fast processing of samples and to provide space for training of our next generation of scientists. Our scientists and current world events tell us that there's going to be more outbreaks, unfortunately. We know of recent monkeypox outbreak, which has been reported in 102 countries, including Ghana. Ghana recently recorded also cases of Marburg fever for the first time. In fact, it was recorded in Ashanti region. Ebola and Lassa fever are common feature in neighboring West African countries. We recently saw yellow fever cases emerge. These happenings call for enhanced vigilance, surveillance, and preparedness. My vision for agenda, that's the vision of the president, not my vision. The vision of the president for Agenda 111 was born out of necessity to address some of these shortcomings. At the normal rate of growth, we are not likely to make up for the deficit in our health facility infrastructure for a very long time. Hence, the need for a special and dedicated program for infrastructure development. We are undertaking, as the government is undertaking, 111 facilities across the country, which comprise of state-of-the-art standard 60 to 100-bed district hospitals for all districts without hospitals, with accommodation for doctors and nurses and other health professionals. There's going to be also 6 new regional hospitals for each of the 6 new regions created, and the rehabilitation of Efia-Kwanta Regional Hospital to become a metropolitan hospital for Western region, and a new regional hospital for the Western region. and 3 psychiatric hospitals for each of the 3 ecological zones in the country. That is the north in Tamale, the middle belt in Onwe in Ashanti region, and the coastal belt, the redevelopment and rehabilitation of the old Accra Psychiatric Hospital. It is an ambitious project which must and will be done since we do not know when we expect the next pandemic. And His Excellency the President is prepared to commission all these 111 hospitals before he leaves power on the midnight of 6th of January 2025. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we had to learn some very hard lessons, and our belief in the need of self-sufficiency was reinforced when vaccine was played out blatantly by the rich and powerful countries. The Presidential Vaccine Manufacturing Committee, which was set up by His Excellency the President to respond to this obvious deficiency, has put in place a comprehensive strategy for domestic vaccine development and production in the 3rd quarter of 2024. A bill, as I speak now, is in Parliament for approval, and we are hopeful that within the next week or so, the establishment of the National Vaccine Institute, which a building is ready and finished, will then start the production of vaccines locally in this country. It's not only vaccines, it's vaccines, serum, and other biological and pharmaceutical that will be produced by the private sector. Ghana is not doing the vaccines by government. Government is going to give the private sector the enabling environment to produce these vaccines in the country, and not only for Ghana, but for the African sub-region. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the lessons we learned from COVID-19 was the urgent need to expand the critical mass of scientists in Ghana and Africa. And we need all hands to be on deck. To address this, KCCR provides state-of-the-art laboratories with facilities for training of some of our best scientists in the world. And this was evident during the COVID-19 pandemic. Capacity building was made possible through North-South and South-South multidisciplinary research collaborations. Currently, we are also leading in science as a science university. We have a student population, that's KNUST, of about 85,000 students, training in various disciplines at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And we expect that the quality training of our scientists will be at this level. Government is going to construct 5 new STEM universities in 5 regions, that is Western North, Savannah, Northeast, Ahafo, and Oti. Steps are also underway to convert the planned Bunsu campus of University of Environment and Sustainable Development into a standalone independent university, mainly focused on the study of engineering. For better planning and brighter future, our children will continue to be educated. The free SHS and the free TVET are the best vehicles and have been devised to take us to the realization of a goal of an educated and skilled workforce. The TVET institutions are being upgraded and equipped to enable them to train increased numbers that we have projected for that sector to meet the modern needs of the economy. The refurbishment of 34 national vocational and technical institutes across the country will soon be commissioned. This comprises the construction, rehabilitation, equipping of laboratories, workshops, additional classrooms, hostels, and administrative offices. His Royal Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, no one is an island. Despite the measures being put in place, the increasing number of world population, increasing human-to-human contact, and increasing travel makes us susceptible to many diseases. This, therefore, calls for greater collaboration in all fields, at all levels, intra-country, intra-Africa, and globally. We need to recognize that we have a shared responsibility in ensuring that we remain safe. For the attainment of Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, access to all should be our watchword. Attention should be paid to providing better access to women in science, who have contributed significantly to our development. And I'm very happy to know that out of the 318 scientists in KCCR, 40% of them are women. Your Royal Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's relations with Germany is of utmost importance, drawing inspiration from the oft-cited African proverb, which says, and I quote, "If you want to go faster, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." So we shall continue to go together with our friends from Germany. We have resolved to work hand in hand with our German partners because we desire to work for far as we the common values of respect for individual liberties, human rights, and respect for the rule of law. I'm happy to say here that the German government, through GIZ and the European Union, are the people who are assisting us to have our domestic vaccine development and production in Ghana become a reality. The recent establishment of Volkswagen assembly plant in Accra is a welcome development, and we are encouraged by the fact that more and more German companies have expressed their willingness to set up in Ghana. Ghana is working with Germany on several fronts. The recent stakeholder engagements for the establishment of vaccine manufacturing, as I've mentioned, in Ghana, as was supported mainly by GIZ Ghana, through the support of local vaccine production and projects. This support is highly appreciated. Our science projects, supported by the Federal Republic of Germany, include the West African Science Center on Climate Change and Adapted Land Use, African Institute of Mathematical Sciences, the German West African Center for Global Health and Pandemic Prevention, Marine International Institute for Advanced Studies in Africa, and last but not the least, Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in KNUST. His Royal Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there are many problems that we have to overcome to get back to where we ought to be as a country. And I need your utmost support. No president, no parliament, no government can undertake this task all by themselves. We need all Ghanaians and our partners to pull, push, and forge on together. The economic devastation of COVID-19 has since the beginning of this year been further aggravated by Russian invasion of Ukraine, which has worsened the economic outlook of the entire world. We in Ghana have not escaped this devastating development, and the consequences are being felt in the rising cost of living that we are presently experiencing. We cannot make progress if we do not work in an atmosphere of peace. We cannot thrive as an island of peace and stability in a region of turmoil. We need a stable and prosperous Ghana in a stable and prosperous world. On this note, I urge all our sister nations use our membership of ECOWAS and our membership of African Union and our membership of Commonwealth, our membership of Francophonia, and our position as a non-permanent member of UN Security Council to advance these goals. Your Royal Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt whatsoever that we have it in us to build the Ghana of our dreams. I saw the spirit of togetherness and the willingness to help each other when the COVID-19 struck. We look out for each other. I saw the sense of enterprise and innovation of the Ghanaian when I saw our manufacturers quickly adapt their plans to produce sanitizers and adapt their plans also to produce masks. Our tailors quickly display the innovation they have always been known for by turning face masks into fashion items. We have first-class health professionals, and they came together on their own during the crisis. We have first-class teachers who showed their wealth when the pandemic struck and kept our children firmly glued to their books. The self-confidence of Ghanaians is no doubt well noted. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us more than ever, hold our heads up high and face the future with courage, hope, and assurance. Achieving our preferred destination requires a deliberate change in all aspects of our lives, especially the nature of our infrastructure, the education of our young people, the acquisition of skills, and above all, our ability to hold firm to the values that define us as Ghanaians. On behalf of the government and the people of Ghana, and on behalf of His Excellency who could not be here, and on my own behalf, I join all well wishes to congratulate KCCR and KNUST for achieving this feat on the momentous occasion of this 25 years of research for life, sustaining global health and research in a changing world. May God bless all of us and make us great and strong. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Annniversary, the advisor to the President on Health. KCCR has come a long way. 25 years it has been. The story is a big one, it's a great one, all summarized in a 10-minute documentary. So shall we please turn our focus on the screens and watch this 10-minute documentary of KCCR.
The Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine, KCCR, is Ghana's second largest research facility. It has distinguished itself in areas such as neglected tropical diseases, malaria, tuberculosis, and recently COVID-19. KCCR is 25 years.
Mitro kakamio, minero kakamio, kakamiampo ku amwasi anansio. Adam sesere kusi anansimuno mfe. Nansimuno mfe. Nansimuno.
The beginning of KCCR is very interesting. At that time, Professor Dr. George Rekubrobe was the Dean of the School of Medical Sciences at the time. And he had been trained in Germany, but he realized that the medical school didn't have a research laboratory. When they were in Germany, they knew that medical schools had research centers where laboratory work could be done, but we had to transfer samples abroad for analysis. So he got wind that 3 sites were being considered for setting up such a research center in Africa. And at that time, the Vice Chancellor of KNUST was Professor F.O. Kwame, who was instrumental in all this, and he put together a team to bring a proposal together. So it was Mr. Kobi Yabokra, who was the secretary for the medical school, and then the dean, Professor Dr. George Rekubrobe. They put together a very nice proposal for consideration. So the Vice Chancellor forwarded it, and the ambassador to Ghana from Germany, that is His Excellency Christian Lacombe, he was also instrumental in all this. Just at that time, coincidentally, the Ministry of Health, led by Dr. Eunice Brookman Emisa, was in charge at the ministry at that point, and they were also thinking of setting up a similar research center in the middle part of Ghana. It was very coincidental. So they said, oh, we better join in this. So they were a big party to this proposal that eventually got approved. And actually, Professor Dr. George Rekubrobe had to travel to Germany to the Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine, where he met Professor Bernard Fleischer and Professor Rolf Holzmann, and they discussed the proposal, and they were excited because most of the lecturers from the medical school were trained in Germany. So it became a win-win situation. The proposal was tweaked, and they all agreed on the content, and then eventually the Chancellor of KNUST, that is Otumfuo Pokuari II, also gave his blessing. And then the final to give the blessing was the President. He also saw the proposal, he liked it, he said it's good. He approved it, and eventually an agreement between Ghana and Germany was signed in the town hall in Hamburg on the 28th of October 1997.
Looking back at this time, I think some important decisions were made that were crucial to create such an equal partnership for the next generation. First, the stakeholders represent academia, national authorities, regional public health, and an international partner. They all have rights and responsibilities and contribute together to the success. Second, the KCCR was always planned as an open research platform with many users and collaborators. And third, there is a written commitment in the state agreement that all research projects need co-PIs from Ghana and abroad. And this has led to many further international collaborations.
Currently, KCCR employs 34 administrative staff, 318 research staff, and hosts 13 research units comprising skin-neglected tropical diseases and Buruli ulcer, molecular diagnostics, infectious immunology, One Health virology, One Health bacteriology, filariasis and onchocerciasis, infectious disease epidemiology, malaria and entomology, vector biology, bioinformatics and computational biology, infectious and non-communicable diseases, clinical research, global health and infectious disease.
KCCR filariasis project is the oldest project at KCCR, and we work on two main diseases: onchocerciasis, which leads to river blindness, and the lymphatic filariasis, which leads to elephantiasis of the leg or scrotum. So far, we've done about 30 projects. Some of them are clinical trials. What we try to do is to find a drug that can kill the adult worm. At the moment, the drug of choice for onchocerciasis and elephantiasis is ivermectin. When you take ivermectin, it kills all the baby worm in the blood and skin, but has no effect on the adult worm. So what we are trying to do is to find a drug that can kill the adult worm so that when the patient takes it once, he doesn't have to repeat it several years. At the moment, we'll be very successful. We found a particular drug. When a patient takes it for 4 to 6 weeks, it kills the adult worms, so the patient doesn't have to take the drug several times. He takes it once and for all. We've trained quite a number of clinicians, pharmacists, PhD students, and masters. So far at the moment, we've trained about 7 PhD students. All of them are now lecturers at KNUST and other sister universities. And some are even professors, including myself, who is a full professor. I was actually trained on these projects.
Since its inception, KCCR has had 7 directors, 4 deputy directors, 3 administrative heads, who have all played various roles in the realization of the research center's vision. KCCR has become the preferred destination for many undergraduates and graduates looking to expand their horizon and gain experience in lab and field work.
I came to KCCR very green, all over the place, had a lot of rough edges. KCCR is like a refinery. It smoothens out a lot of the rough edges in an individual. So looking back where I started from and now, there's a huge difference. KCCR will not just groom you in becoming a microscopist. It's an all-rounded training at KCCR.
COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on the whole world. KNUST scientists working at KCCR made profound contributions towards the COVID-19 control strategy in Ghana.
When the COVID broke, there were only 2 places in Ghana that were able to do the testing for this. One was Noguchi in Accra, and the other was KCCR here in Kumasi. So very quickly, our director, Professor Phillips, who rallied all the teams that were involved in infectious diseases research. We tried to secure the necessary reagents and input that were needed for testing. It was quite an effort, I must say, and also alarming in itself, because we could not tell what we were in for. Very quickly, this testing was established, and we began to serve Kumasi and the northern part of Ghana.
We had some few people, I think 3 or 4 of us,
So we started and gradually we evolved into a very large group, and we had to form teams. We had team leaders. We're running shifts. I mean, we're working 24/7. We had to stay very late in the lab, working on several batching samples. I'm sure we all remember about the pooling and the backlogs and so on and so forth. But we managed it so very well. Beyond conducting the testing, we're also tasked with offering some high throughput capacity building activities for several labs.
We want to be in the lead, and we want to keep on training highly skilled scientists that are able to pass on the skills to others.
Long live KCCR. Happy 25th anniversary.
Sustaining global health and research in a changing world. KCCR, happy 25th anniversary.
The story and impact of KCCR told in just 10 minutes, and this is it. Thanks for your attention. KCCR, as you know, was set up in royalty 25 years ago. Asante Hene then Otumfuo Opoku-Ware II, together with the president, gave the approval and facilitated the setup. 25 years on, we are celebrating the silver jubilee in royalty because Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II Asante Hene is here with us. Shall we please rise and welcome him as he delivers his address on the 25th anniversary of KCCR. A round of applause.
Wasaji fogu nyagwasyo krasantina dwe kasangen.
Wasaji fogu nyagwasyo krasantina dwe kasangen.
Kwata kwa hine kase krabya hine kasangen.
Kwata kwa hine kase krabya hine kasangen.
Mema krabya irifya ngumane kwata kungen.
Mema krabya irifya ngumane kwata kungen.
Asante chantochmo champon fungen.
Asante chantochmo champon fungen.
Asante sesebo sumaniten.
Asante sesebo sumaniten.
Krabya santina dwe kasangen.
Krabya santina dwe kasangen.
Osechichwe modi nyawisyo.
Osechichwe modi nyawisyo.
Wai nebanya sajuso supani ni akaba kumazika pobano.
Wai nebanya sajuso supani ni akaba kumazika pobano.
Binya sebya nkobeyebi.
Oh binya sebya nkobeyebi.
Amen na tedi feba demlefe kasangen.
Amen na tedi feba demlefe kasangen.
Chrewane ndofi mwaje nungen.
Chrewane ndofi mwaje nungen.
Ada froda diachmo champon fungen.
Ada froda diachmo champon fungen.
Oh so ni kroyo sumanditen.
Oh so ni kroyo sumanditen.
Ajakwa jale na adia sedingen.
Ajakwa jare na adia sedingen.
Akusibe kumrochmo champon fungen.
Akusibe kumrochmo champon fungen.
Ajakwa frise frampo demli fawisi.
Ajakwa frise frampo no demli fawisi.
Setutu mi modi nyawisyo.
Setutu mi modi nyawisyo.
Wai ne banya sakanti nchrebu achi dankwane se wampimsika pobano.
Wai ne banya sakanti nchrebu achi dankwane se wampimsika pobano.
Binya sebya nkobeyebi.
Oh binya sebya nkobeyebi.
Bagwa bakana ne frampo demli fawisi.
Bagwa bakana ne frampo no demli fawisi.
Wasaji fogu nyagwasingen.
Wasaji fogu nyagwasingen.
Okra santina dwe kasangen.
Okra santina dwe kasangen. Okubeda topeba demlefa gunyagwasa dunya chemera. du bakume ngwata fadungen. Wose tunankana di fionu chmo champon fungen. Wose tunankana di fionu no o.
The Honorable Regional Minister and the Presidential Advisor on Health, I want to seek permission from my Vice Chancellor so that I can skip all the protocols to go ahead with that. I congratulate KCCR on its 25th anniversary and also for the great strides and remarkable achievements over these 25 years. Interestingly, and as already indicated, we are celebrating 25th anniversary of KCCR within the 70th anniversary of KNUST. This university, KNUST, was set up to provide an environment for teaching, research, and entrepreneurship, training in science and technology for the industrial and socio-economic development of Ghana and beyond. As is expected of a research center within the university, the mandate of KCCR is highly aligned to those of KNUST. KCCR has provided first-class academic training for a large number of promising and highly skilled local and foreign scientists. I dare say, however, that prior to the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, many Ghanaians were not cognizant of the activities of research institutions like the KCCR today. It is so obvious that the impact of COVID-19 would have been worse if such center was not situated in the Ashanti region and at the university. We celebrate all our vice chancellors, as have been mentioned earlier, of KNUST and deans from the medical school who worked with representatives from the Ministry of Health to help shape and implement the vision and establishment of such a center. We also congratulate our international partners, especially those from the Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine from Germany, who have worked with us all along the way. KCCR has chalked many successes in research, human resource development, and providing the right environment for nurturing homegrown high-caliber scientists that are immediately relevant in Ghana, the sub-region, and beyond. We applaud the Center for the fantastic performance in response of recent disease outbreaks, with a focus to work with the Ministry of Health and other relevant stakeholders to improve healthcare for Ghanaians. KCCR played a crucial role in Ashanti region and its surrounding regions, providing testing to guide clinical decisions, technical support to laboratories, and data to inform critical decisions by the health sector. Indeed, the immense contributions of the center will be marked in history books and looked back upon by future generations for many years to come. As research forms the basis for development of any country, government must pay more attention to our research centers and to address research capacity gaps that exist. Unfortunately, we have the Presidential Advisor on Health here, whom I know very much, and he's very conversant with what I'm talking about. So as you spoke on behalf of the President, I was waiting for you to hear from you that you are going to commit so much into research, but that was not in your speech, so please. And you yourself, I know, has been one person that has been championing that cause. So don't forget that if you are in Jubilee House, still continue to champion that cause for me. There's an urgent need to change the low perception in research careers and to improve the availability of research positions to drive innovation and development in Ghana and Africa. Interest in research could be increased by encouraging analytical thinking among children, especially from the primary school level, in order to generate their interest in the sciences. I have been informed that as part of the anniversary, children in the upper primary spent a day of science at KCCR. This is a step in the right direction. Let us keep working at catching them young. And I thank the director for that. The COVID-19 outbreak witnessed a fast-growing body of research as international organizations, governments, scientific journals, and funding bodies called on researchers to join forces to tackle the crisis. The AU, Africa CDC, and WHO encourage cross-border, interdisciplinary, cross-sectorial, and multilateral collaboration. These actions led to meaningful solutions. At this point, it is crucial to reflect on the lessons we have learned, as they will be transformative for our future if we work with them. Health research centers have become critical tools for healthcare interventions in many nations across the world. Health research centers help build the capacities of nations to detect, monitor, prevent, and deploy effective health response quickly for disease outbreaks. For instance, when COVID-19 broke out in Ghana, the country's COVID-19 pandemic response was largely centered on medical research centers, the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research. It is time for the country to invest in clinical research, which will go a long way to adequately prepare the country ahead of epidemics. And thank you, Presidential Advisor. I heard that you have about 50 of these centers now, but I think we still have to do more with that. I call on the government and other relevant stakeholders then to help provide the investment that will help in developing the needed human resource to help advance the course of health research in the country. Countries that had advanced their healthcare systems invested heavily in clinical research. Indeed, clinical health research enables scientists and researchers to come out with groundbreaking discoveries and early detective systems that enable public health workers to address diseases and epidemics on time. Absolutely critical that we continuously work towards whatever health challenges the future may hold for us as a country. And then again, the President's representative, if we took a very serious view of health, even though in this precarious situation of our economic situation, I still believe that we can cut corners somewhere and invest in the health delivery system. Because some of our projects are mere fantasy projects instead of looking at what is more relevant for us. I acknowledge the contributions of all institutions and individuals that supported the work of KCCR during these 25 years. I celebrated the generosity of all institutions that put their hands in their pockets to ensure that KCCR had the resources necessary to provide us with the needed COVID test. You will forever be remembered. I commend all the leadership, hardworking scientists and staff of KCCR, as I saw from the screen. And there were more ladies doing the research more than men, and I honor them for that. Both past and present, for their sense of duty and commitment in bringing us this far. Needless to say that even though much has been achieved, we all have a lot to work to do to continue to save lives. As the Chancellor of KNUST, I assure you of my unalloyed support and will continue to provide you with the needed backing to ensure continuous success as we enter the next 25 years of existence. So I go to here with your kindest permission, maybe I would also, in my own humble way, between my university and Asantuma, contribute 1 million Ghana cedis for their research. So, congratulations, KCCR, and happy anniversary.
Please be seated. I believe we are all excited by the 1 million cedis birthday gift to KCCR. And I'm already thinking of seeking immediate transfer to go work at KCCR. Anyway, thank you very much, Chancellor and Asante Hene. Each time we celebrate our birthdays, we cut cake to signify how good the Lord has been on our lives. So 25 years of KCCR, we see this beautiful anniversary cake. And it is my honor and pleasure to invite the following people to help with the cutting of the anniversary cake. I invite the Council Chair of KNUST, Ambassador Nana Ifa Apentin, to come up stage. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Akusia Dixon. The German Ambassador to the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, you join. The Director of BNITM, Dr. Francis Kasolo, who rep, and then Professor Richard Phillips, of course, Director of KCCR. So, our dignitaries will join hands and help in the cutting of the 25th anniversary cake. Do we have the knife? Oh, you have the, yeah, because I couldn't see the knife. Yeah.
Nana Chancellor, Otumfuo Setutu II, with your permission, we cut this cake in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much. So, at the appropriate time, we'll deal with the cake. Otumfuo Setutu, here presiding, I would want to seek your permission to acknowledge some distinguished dignitaries who graced this occasion. Of course, observing all protocols, for all those who have been here to deliver messages, we acknowledge your presence. In our midst today is the Ashanti Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Osei Mensah. Thank you for coming. KCCR sits in its region. Also in our midst is our Council Chair, Ambassador Nana Ifa Apentin. I'm going to acknowledge our German partners who traveled all the way from Germany to be part of this program. It's a long list, but we'll do our best. Professor Akim Horef, Dr. Mr. Thomas Krupa, Mrs. Bridget Muller, Professor Mr. Jürgen May, Professor Rolf Hotzmann, Professor Mr. Egbert Tanish, Dr. Karsten Kohler, Professor Ivo Steinmetz, Mrs. Blanche Schwapash Pignataro, Professor Christian Dostin, Professor Mark Jacobson, Dr. Julia Seyfarth, Professor Rachel Simmons, Dr. Natalie Wograft, Professor Nick Monk, Dr. William Professor Dek Bush, and then Dr. Mr. Timo Jaga. We know there are about 60 of you from different universities and having played different roles for KCCR. We acknowledge your presence and thanks for coming all the way from Germany to be part of this program. Nana Chancellor, I've been told that some companies sponsored the anniversary celebrations. It's also another long list that I've been asked to acknowledge, and it's an interesting list. So we acknowledge Anglo Gold, Ashanti, Ashantiman, Europe, Newmont Ghana Limited, Ghana Health Service, Government of Ghana, Standard Chartered Bank, Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Chamber of Mines, Compassion International, College of Health Sciences, Federal Republic of Germany, COVID-19 National Trust Fund, Jackson Education Complex, Ufurikrum Municipal Assembly, KMA, Consolidated Bank, United States Department, Office of the First Lady, Fruits Bar and Restaurant KNUST, GIZ, Olam Modec, Biosensor, Sinapia, Bakina Pharma, Silver Lobster, KNUST Club B, KNUST Alumni, Cord Chemist, Local Industries, Fund Milk, Menchia Palace, Unique Royal Club, Blue Skies Ghana Limited, Royal Basin Resort, Novartis West Africa, and guess what? Katanga Hall Alumni. We also have Ghana Pentecostal Charismatic Council, Regional Directorate of Health Ashanti Region, Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distribution, Women in Science, Engineering, Mathematics, Wisdom. Thank you all for your support and your donation towards this celebration. Shall we please observe the following announcements? The afternoon session will begin at 2:30 p.m. right here. But before that, we'll have our lunch at the foyer of the Great Hall right after this program. Dignitaries will join the Chancellor to commission an ultramodern laboratory, and there will be another addition to the achievement of KCCR. Thanks very much for your attention. Don't forget to be here at 2:30 for the afternoon session. Shall we please rise as I invite Reverend Father Antonina to give us the closing prayer.
May I please beg your indulgence to pray. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. Dear Lord and Master, we are so much grateful to you for the gift of our lives. We thank you for the gift of our dear nation, Ghana. We thank you for her leadership, and we thank you for the efforts and the resources we have put into our health, and especially in health research centers. We thank you for how far you have brought us as a nation. And we thank you in a very special way for Asanteman, Nana Chancellor, and Asante Hene for his intercessions and blessings and gracing us with his wisdom and knowledge and guiding the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to the greater heights that we celebrate today. We thank you for 70 years of global impact and our desire to do more for the entire world. We thank you for the management of the university and for using them to achieving these greater heights. We single out the KCCR for its 25th year anniversary. We thank you for the leadership, the graces and blessings that you have given them in their research work. We cannot but also thank you for our German counterparts for the resources and the vision they have had in bringing us this far. We say God continue to bless all our partners, our collaborators and sponsors, local and foreign, and that God should continue to bless the work of their hands, that we may be able to commit more into health research centers like these. As we gather here and even as we depart from here, be with us, lead us, direct us. May we enjoy your protection, your loving care in our lives. And even as we go home, lead us to our destination safely and sound. These and many blessings we ask to our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God forever and ever. Amen.
A big thank you to World Health Organization and Anglo Gold Ashanti for being the major sponsors of this program. Please remain standing for the reception of the Chancellor and special dignitaries. Photo taking session will be up at the backdrop at the entrance.